Welcome to a guide to finding map and geospatial resources for conducting historical research in Los Angeles County. My name is Christopher Bruce. I am a graduate student in the School of Library and Information Science at San Jose State University. This is for my final project in Info 220, GIS and map resources for librarians. In regard to who will find this video helpful, it is probably primarily directed at academics interested in the environment, urban growth, cultural heritage sites, etc. But I think genealogists and amateur historians interested in Los Angeles County and property owners interested in researching their property might also find this a useful video. For the greater Los Angeles area, there are essentially 6 historical periods with regard to the availability of map and geospatial resources. The Spanish period, from 1500 to 1821, covers the exploration and establishment of the mission system in California. Relatively few maps from the period exist, and most are at a small scale. However, there are some maps executed during the Mexican and early American periods that do provide information regarding this period. The Mexican period, from 1821 to 1846, covers the dissolution of the mission system and the rise of the rancho economy. During this period, a sizable number of decennios were made for the purpose of requesting and confirming land grants by ex-soldiers for their service in California. Many of these were filed before the U.S. Land Commission and courts by Spanish-speaking landowners of California to confirm their titles after the annexation of California. Most decennials are not to scale and are inexactly drawn. Nevertheless, they include a wealth of information. The early American period, 1846 to 1890, covers the decline of the Mexican rancho economy and the rise of the American agricultural economy, facilitated by the growth of railroads and other forms of communication. During this period, professional cartographers executed maps of the city of Los Angeles roughly every 10 years, and less frequently for the county. Public lands throughout the county are surveyed, privately held ranchos are also surveyed due to litigation and subdivision, and USGS maps start appearing for the region towards the end of the period. The post-frontier period is from 1890 to 1920. It covers the transition from frontier to modern city through continuing growth of transportation sector and the introduction and growth of new sectors like film and tourism. It is also characterized by the development of infrastructure to bring water to the region for agricultural and the growing urban population. Maps of the county and city of Los Angeles are more frequently executed, as are maps of new communities springing up throughout the county. Real estate atlases like the Sanborn, originally commissioned for fire insurance, document the growth of Los Angeles and other urban areas in the county. The growth of auto travel during the latter part of this period spurs the growth of road maps. There are also maps showing the growth of rail transportation, airports, irrigation, and agriculture. The interwar and World War II period, 1920 to 1945, covers continued growth of film, tourism, and manufacturing, while the city begins its rapid outward growth from a sizable city to a metropolis. With the rapid expansion of automobiles, the need for up-to-date road map increases. Specialized maps appear concerning land use, minority communities, expanding infrastructure, and recreation. Aerial photography begins to play an increasingly significant role in capturing the change and growth of the region. The post-war period, 1945 to 1980, Covers the post-war growth of film, tourism, aerospace, and housing in conjunction with the rapid growth of highways, educational facilities, and other infrastructure to accommodate the region's growing population. Thus, the trends that began in the interwar and World War II periods increase in intensity during this period. There are three types of resources we will be concentrating on in this presentation: online resources, significant local map collections, and air photo collections. With regard to online resources, we will look at the Los Angeles Public Library online map collection, the University of California Calisphere, the Los Angeles Department of Public Works website, the USGS Historical Topographic Map Site, the USC Digital Library, and the David Rumsey Map Collection. The Los Angeles Public Library online map collection is rather modest in size, but it contains some of the most significant historical maps relating to Los Angeles from the early American period. In particular, the Edward Ord's Plan de la Ciudad de Los Angeles, that should be 1849, which was the first really professionally made map of Los Angeles. George H. Baker's map of a portion of Los Angeles County showing the Abel Stearns Ranchos. This covers much of the South Bay and East Los Angeles. The H.J. Stevens map of the city of Los Angeles in 1884 catches it at the height of its really first great boom. And the George W. Kirkman Harriman pictorial and historical map of Los Angeles County is a very interesting map. It catches a lot of interesting information going back to even the Spanish period and shows where a lot of the Indian villages and routes of early explorers were, so very valuable maps. There are also a few based real estate sheets dating from 1921 and a number of road maps from the 1920s and 30s. There are also a lot of very interesting specialty maps focusing on things like murals, movie star homes, and recreational sites. And very importantly, the resolution on this site is very good, so it's possible to make out the smallest detail and text on these maps. This site has an excellent collection of diseños from the Mexican period covering Los Angeles and Orange County. It also has a lot of other useful maps as well. Among the interesting maps that this site has, they have a collection of maps showing the distribution of racial and national groups in the Los Angeles area based on 1940 census data. They also have numerous maps of the county and city of Los Angeles from the early American period to the post-war years. These include property, political, and road maps, as well as maps devoted to particular topics like drainage and transportation. One of the best map collections online with regard to Los Angeles. The Department of Public Works website for Los Angeles contains a vast number of maps, plats, and diagrams dating back to the start of the American period. All images may be downloaded as PDFs. The drawback is that it can be very challenging to find maps for a specific location. Also, information contained on the maps varies considerably from image to image. One of the most usable types of maps on this website are the township plats. Looking at a Thomas guide, they give township coordinates in various places on it, and that should kind of give you some idea about where these are. And there's a lot of interesting information at a very, very small level. Township plats are a result of the public land survey system, which created a number of grid systems to provide an orderly transfer of publicly held frontier land to private individuals. The grid covering Los Angeles County is based on the San Bernardino Meridian. It is composed of township plats that are roughly 6 by 6 miles and further broken down into 36 sections, each a mile by a mile. These in turn can be further divided into half and quarter sections, and so on. In California, this grid pattern is frequently interrupted by the large privately owned ranchos. Official record maps include a lot of useful information, but it's very difficult to find a specific map unless you know the book and map number that it is on. Official record maps usually show the surveyor and location in terms of a rancho or township and range coordinates, but do not necessarily include a date or scale. In some cases, they also may show individual buildings and other features. Miscellaneous records are another category of map. Again, a lot of interesting information, but it is often difficult to locate a specific location. Also, with all the maps, there tends to be much more detailed information on the earlier maps than on the later maps. These records usually show the map scale, name of the surveyor, date of survey, property ownership, neighboring property owners, streets, and features like railroad tracks and canals. In some cases, they may also show individual buildings and other features. Other records worth exploring on the site are parcel maps, tract maps, deed maps, and patent maps. The USGS Historical Topographic Map site is incredible. Has a wealth of information, easy to download, easy to navigate. The USGS began making topographic maps of the U.S. in 1876. The scale of the maps varies from 1 to 24,000 to 1 to 250,000. Topo maps use contour lines at different intervals to show elevation. They usually depict hydrology, human settlement and activity, and sometimes vegetation and other natural features. They are a great platform for comparing an area through time. The USC Digital Library has put 63 collections online. A number of these collections contain sizable numbers of historical maps related to the greater Los Angeles area. The Automobile Club of Southern California collection has a sub-collection of 93 strip maps dating from 1912 to 1936. These maps show early automobile touring routes in Southern California. They also show distances, major roads, cities, attractions, and key landmarks. The California Historical Society collection includes a number of interesting maps. From the Spanish period, there are some maps documenting the exploration of California, including a 1777 and 1787 map showing the mission settlements. From the Mexican period, there are a couple dozen diseños and a diagram of the layout of early Los Angeles. From this period, there is also a hand-drawn map showing Campo de Cahuenga and the interesting map to the right of the altar stations of Mission San Gabriel. From early American period, there are maps showing Los Angeles, Monrovia, Compton, and Hollywood, as well as some bird's-eye views of Los Angeles. From the 1920s, there are maps of the Central Business District of Los Angeles, a Chamber of Commerce map for Los Angeles, and one showing airports in the greater Los Angeles area. There is a map of historical landmarks of the San Pedro area, and a number of surveys showing the coastline of Los Angeles. Also on the USC Digital Library are the University of Southern California dissertations and theses. Many of these contain unique maps, and because of the location of USC, many will be on topics related to the Los Angeles area. However, these maps will not appear among your search results. Therefore, if you're interested in finding a map on a particular subject matter and/or location, it may be worthwhile to search the University of Southern California dissertations and thesis collection and see if any that appear among your search results contain useful maps. Searching theses and dissertations also holds true at other institutions in the greater Los Angeles area. Another unique collection of the USC Digital Library is the WPA Land Use Survey Maps for the City of Los Angeles, 1933 to 1939. This collection is composed of 347 colored sheets bound in 10 volumes. The survey took place from December 18, 1933 through May 8, 1939, and was carried out by the City of Los Angeles Department of Planning in conjunction with the Works Project Administration. It covers approximately 460 square miles within the boundaries of the City of Los Angeles. Each page covers approximately 1.5 miles east to west and 1.25 miles north to south, and as the title suggests, shows land usage as well as individual buildings. Unfortunately, the resolution is such that it's very difficult to read the index, legend, and names on the maps. The originals are at the Huntington. The David Rumsey map collection is extensive. Most of the maps relating to Los Angeles County in the collection are from the 1880s to 1930s. A couple highlights are a complete 1938 Thomas Guide Road Atlas and Hall's 1888 detailed irrigation maps of California. With regard to significant local map collections, we will look at the Los Angeles Public Library, the UCLA Map Library, the CSUN Geography and Map Library, and the Department of Archives and Special Collections at the William H. Hannon Library on the Loyola Marymount University campus. The Los Angeles Public Library has one of the largest map collections relating to the city of Los Angeles. It also covers other areas of the county in depth. It has a large collection of city directories and phone books covering the Los Angeles County from the 1870s to present, and it has an extensive microfilmed Sanborn Atlas collection from 1888 to 1970. The UCLA Maps, Atlases, Aerial Images, and Cartographic Resources webpage is one of the most informative sources on historic maps related to Los Angeles. UCLA has the most extensive collection of maps related to Los Angeles County across all time periods. It is perhaps the only place you can find a legible copy of the Wilde and Stahlberg 1877 map of the county of Los Angeles. This is a fantastic map and incorporates almost all published information in terms of surveys and records prior to 1876. UCLA Map Library also has an extensive collection of Sanborn maps. The Geography Map Library on the CSUN campus has one of the largest Sanborn fire insurance map collections in the nation. It also has geography graduate theses. Many contain maps pertaining to the Los Angeles County area, and it holds a number of historical maps relating to Los Angeles County. The Department of Archives and Special Collections at the William H. Hannon Library on the Loyola Marymount University campus holds a very interesting collection, the Hurley Wright Surveyor Map Collection. It focuses on Southern California, contains 1,737 maps dating from 1855 to 1968. You will, however, need to call ahead to make an appointment to see the maps. With regard to air photo collections, we'll look at UCLA's, CSUN's, and the Los Angeles Public Libraries. The Benjamin and Gladys Thomas Air Photo Archives at UCLA is the most extensive aerial photo collection in Southern California. The collection may only be viewed by appointment, and there is a minimum fee of $40. The Fairchild aerial surveys contain a variety of oblique, low-altitude black and white aerial photos of Southern California taken between 1927 and 1964. The Spencer Air Photo Collection contains low-altitude aerial photos taken from a variety of altitudes, angles, and directions. These images were taken between 1918 and 1971. It has extensive coverage of Los Angeles County. Other air photo collections include the Geography Map Library on the CSUN campus. They have an air photo collection of roughly 5,000 images focused on the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles County, and some neighboring states of California. The San Fernando Valley photos taken between 1921 and 1989 are mainly vertical, with some taken at an oblique angle. The scale ranges from 1 to 14,000 to 1 to 36,000. The LA County photos were taken between 1952 and 1995, all vertical. The scale ranges from 1 to 20,000 to 1 to 36,000. The Los Angeles Public Library used to have an extensive air photo collection. Unfortunately, most of that was destroyed in the 1986 fire. At present, they only have one complete set of air photos for LA County from 1965, all taken at a vertical angle. UC Santa Barbara, however, the map image library there recently acquired 750,000 air photos from Whittier College. The air photos were taken from 1927 to 1964. They are part of the Fairchild aerial surveys that were not acquired by UCLA. All were taken from a vertical angle. UCLA got the oblique angle ones. It's unclear exactly when they will be processed and can be accessed. That concludes the presentation. I hope you found it informative and that it will assist you in whatever research you conduct in the greater Los Angeles area.